Welcome back.
We're here.
Another Deliver That live show. We have a first-time guest, Jake Hercom, our
Finally made it.
VP of Ops,
Welcome.
finally made it to the show. As always, our president and CEO, Darien, and I'm Christian Hilty, our VP of Partnerships. We've had a lot of changes. We've been looking at the comments here as we get ready for this, and we're excited to see you guys.
Yeah, no, as always, thank you guys for taking your time coming out and spending some time to get more informed about the platform. I know there's a lot of feedback that's gone around. You've heard it from the partnership side. You've heard it from the driver side. I've heard it myself. So what better platform than to get on here and talk to you guys live? So we're going to get into all the questions you guys have. I know you guys get a lot. But before that, I do want to give a quick call out. We have something fun going on. We do it every single year. It is our annual charity golf outing. So we're raising proceeds to give back to a local charity here in the area. That is going to be happening this Friday. So we're excited about that. So I know some people always do the super chats, things of that nature. Anything that's put in here, we're going to be sending that immediately to the charity donation. So we appreciate you all for, again, joining us today. So let's, where do we want to start? I think if you've been here before, you know that we usually have pieces of paper here, and I've seen all the comments. This is just going to be, we're going to be reciting things. We're not going to be talking. We're not going to be interacting. So if you've been here before, you know that's typically how we operate, is we're going to read these comments. We're going to answer your questions. Yes, we have some things we wanted to discuss, but this isn't a statement. This is a fluid conversation. So yes, we want to start off here while you guys start getting your questions in and talk about some of the changes that we've been making to the platform. I will not get into the specifics this second. I will defer to Jake. I'll defer to Christian here, but I want to talk to it from a holistic perspective and a macro level view as to why we are doing these things, because absolutely everybody that operates on the DeliverThat platform, you deserve some insights and some more understanding if you aren't clear as to the direction that we're heading. We've talked for a very long time about we're working with other brands and enterprise accounts, which come with larger numbers of deliveries, larger orders, more dense and consolidated, or concentrated, I should say, metros. And so in order to get to scale, and we've heard this from our direct partners very, very loudly, we've heard it from a lot of our drivers, in order to get to scale, the way that we were operating wasn't going to allow us to achieve the level of success that we have. And so we had to kind of go to the drawing board and rework it up. And so, yes, our new offering is based off of different variables than it has been in the past. There is no tiers there. It is based off of the success, your reliability, how many of the deliveries you're accepting, how on time you are. And we'll get into those definitions here in a bit. But I wanted to just start out with opening up and giving you an understanding of where our perspective was from a macro level and from a partner's perspective. And then I'll kind of open it up to Christian and Jake here to talk about the feedback and the questions they've been receiving. And hopefully we'll get those addressed. So, Christian, Jake, either of you guys have one you want to start? Which topic do we like? We'll pick a topic.
Yeah, I think before we hop into specific topics, I think the tiers is the number one piece of feedback that we received going through this change. But the first thing I want to do is acknowledge the fact of the matter that we took 40,000 individuals through a migration within 10 weeks. So, I mean, internally, I know that's a hurdle for our team to handle. That's a lot of change. People don't always take the change as quickly as we'd like them to, and we acknowledge the fact that, you guys did go through a significant change, and whether it's logging in and out of an app, things not functioning off the ground exactly the way that you would expect, and just staying in constant communication with our team, it was impressive to see that you could get 40,000 people through a platform change in 10 weeks and continue to put our best foot forward. So with that said, I also would like to acknowledge the fact that where we're at right now is not our end state. This platform, the feedback that's being provided is truly, I'm truly grateful for it. I know we all are. It makes us better. It makes our platform stronger. It makes our driver, can't hear? Good. It makes the platform more resilient. It makes the platform built to scale, like Darien is talking about. And we want to give the best experience to everybody. And I think we could hop into the tiers. That's kind of a natural segue there. But being aware of the fact that the tier system throughout the country was obviously and admittedly tilted to favor a certain particular subset of our driver fleet. And we want to make it possible for this platform throughout the country to be leveraged for our drivers to make money, right?
Yeah.
Like we're here to provide a platform to connect restaurants who need food delivered to end customers with drivers who want to take those deliveries. And I think that with that spirit in mind, I mean, I see a lot of the different comments and pieces of feedback that we're going to touch on. But just talking about the tiers off the bat, I think, Christian, if you want to add anything there, it's just that system wasn't necessarily fair, equitable, or scalable for where we're going.
Yeah, I think scalable is what comes to my mind. But also, like you said, A, we're not done building, but B, the feedback is what's helping us shape the future of DeliverThat, right? So I know we've gone through changes with the tip pool in the past. Now we're talking about driver tiers today. These are things we heard a lot of negative feedback about in the past. So, yeah, I don't think there's like a one size fits all when you make a change to a platform as large as we are right now. But I will say we heard a lot of the negative feedback from drivers. We've heard feedback from partners about how we were structuring tiers and the direction that we're headed with what we're building now really levels the playing field so that it's performance based, right? Like the best drivers are going to win and everybody's going to get opportunities.
All right, let's. I'm seeing there's a ton of comments coming in, so let's scroll up some here, Ben, and let's start picking some of these off. I'm seeing a lot about distance and offering, and there's. Let's see, find me one here.
I see a lot about distance. Do we want to let's hop into some distance here? I see there's a lot of feedback that we get through our driver experience team. I know they do a great job in communicating with you guys, but from a proximity perspective, I want to talk about that one. Seeing offers very far away, exclusive offers being offered from far away. Again, this kind of touches on where Christian was headed with his commentary, and where this isn't the end state. We know that there's a strong demand from our drivers to be able to have optionality and choice in where and how you want to deliver and how far you're willing to go. That's different from market to market. It's very different when you talk about a city like Los Angeles versus a city like Canton, Ohio, and it might take you an hour to go 10 miles somewhere where it takes 5 minutes to go 5 miles in another metro. So we're cognizant of that, and we are taking that feedback and building for the future with proximity at the top of the mind. That also then layers into the fact that we're talking about the exclusive offer phase and how we can make that better for you, right? Like I saw another comment when we were scrolling through. I don't necessarily know how far up it was, but $8 offers, right? And how we make sure that when you get an exclusive offer, what does that mean? How do we develop it? How do we make sure that open offers and exclusive offers are married together to be the best offer for you that fit your schedule, that you have optionality and choice to take? When you're building out your day, you can truly build it out to maximize your ability to earn money on that day. So I'll acknowledge the fact that yes, there are some offers out there that have a pretty large radius right now, and that is because if you're driving within the metro, right? If you're in Philadelphia, that's a large city, and the zip codes and the orders within that metro can be relatively far away. But we do want to make sure that we get the offer in the right hands, because there are drivers who take those. Believe it or not, I know a 45-mile delivery might seem unappealing to some, but there are drivers out there who do take those, and they might be driving in that area for whatever reason. It's on their way. So we do have to be able to hone that in and give you all choice, because there's not a one size fits all. So Christian, D, anything to add there?
I just want to express, for a long time hearing your guys' feedback, right? You can remember the days, if you've been here for a while, where we would offer it to a ton of drivers at the same time. I think it almost got deemed like a ghost alert, where you would go to your phone, the offers completely disappeared. You're clicking it as fast as you can. We had drivers downloading bots so that they'd have the ability to beat other drivers to accepting offers, all of that stuff. And exclusive offers has been a long time coming. So I'm excited that we got that pushed out. Again, it's the beginning, not the end. It's not the middle. This is the beginning of what we are building here. So yeah, there's a lot of times where you make a major change, you get negative feedback. You can't make everyone happy out of the gate. Building technology is a long journey, but it would be a missed opportunity if I didn't take a minute to acknowledge and be excited about the fact that we've made it to a place where we've started exclusive offering to drivers, right? Like that was number one piece of feedback from the entire fleet, was that we had to get to that point. And now we started the journey.
Yeah, and there's a comment here, and you don't have to toss it up or anything, but it's talking about, it says it'd be excellent to look back and pay us in a daily basis. That's the beautiful thing. I know I saw somebody here talking about we have our own driver app. Does that allow us to control more? To answer that first question, where they said, can the restaurant now request us since we own the driver app? Yes, restaurants can request you to be the specific delivery driver for an order. We're working on the functionality to be able to allow the restaurants from their front end, so basically their own personal dashboard, to prefer some drivers to be able to say, hey, these are the ones that we build a rapport with. They take a consistent number of deliveries for us. We want them to be able to take these orders for us. So yes, that is actually something that the restaurants and our drivers are both asking for, which is what's going to allow us to get over the hump. And now when we're talking about owning our own driver app, and now we have the way that we're sending orders out, we're creating a platform and a baseline for us to be able to add the features and functionality that I'm seeing all throughout this. So multiple time payments, that is something that this is unlocking for us. Allowing more of visibility into personal metrics, right? Like a driver front end dashboard. That is something that you guys should absolutely be able to have access to. We just, again, have to start at the base level, and that's exactly what this is going to be.
Building the foundation.
All right, let's see, what else do we have? Yeah. We'll go on to open offers. That's something else that's new. New terminology. So let's go ahead and give a definition. It says open offers are damn near impossible to get without using a bot. Let's do two birds with one stone.
Yeah, here we go.
Let's talk about open offers, exclusive offers, and then we can get into bots afterwards, because I know that's been a hot topic of discussion here for many of years.
And in a real brief, exclusive offer is we're offering it to one individual driver. You're the only person seeing it. You have a set period of time to accept that job. And then open offering is we're sending that out to all of the drivers in the metro, or is it a subset?
So great question, and a common question that we do get. And just to clarify here, when we look at open offers, the open offer window opens 24 hours to the pickup time, right? So what we're talking about is it can sometimes get misinterpreted if we're talking about notifications or we're talking about the open offers, right? So when we're talking about notifications, within that open offer window of 24 hours to the pickup time, we're still sending out notifications on a timing basis, one at a time. So there's a couple pieces of feedback that I was reading, right, where, we'd love the audio notification for open offers, right? Like we see that feedback often, and it is considered, and the notification's still moving at that one at a time. There's the opportunity for the open offers, they're still going to live there. So if you're navigating to the app, or you're looking at the app periodically, there's a slew of different notification triggers that are going off in the app, whether it's a periodic reminder that there's jobs available in your area. I'm sure people out there have seen that one, or that notification's coming to you directly. But in that open offer, they're available for everybody in the metro in that open offer tab of the app. And if you're going to navigate to that part of the app, take what works for you is kind of my
I actually didn't have that understanding. So it's living in the app under the offers, right?
Yep.
And people can see them, but one by one or periodically we are sending push notifications to people for them. Okay.
Yep. So
and that's during the open phase.
So notifications are on for you, right? Let's just take it from the top down. Exclusive offer windows opening 48 hours to your pickup time. The exclusive offer phase, exactly how you were describing it. One at a time, time-based threshold for you to review and approve, accept, or decline, up to you. Once that offer, let's say it moves through the exclusive offer phase, it gets to 24 hours to the pickup. That's then going to move to open offers. When it's in open offering, it's still going to be notifying on an individual basis, because when we look at a lot of the feedback that we're seeing on the screen right now, we needed to act on the primary piece of feedback where you have this race to get orders,
Yeah.
right? You have this race, you have everybody who claims with the bots, right? If you have a slow bot or a fast bot, I can't get orders. We heard that feedback. We acted on it. So now when we're moving down that list at a one-off basis, we're still at that point attempting to match make the delivery to the driver who will take the delivery.
Right.
We've already talked about that. That's what we're working towards. But if you're in the app and you're looking at open offers, take what works for you.
Right.
Now on top of those notifications, you have the periodic notification of there's open jobs in your area. Tap here, go look at the offers. If you want to work, take them. If you don't, go ahead and leave them there. But there's a nuance there where I know a lot of people are continuing, a lot of drivers are getting used to that, where I see names on this board that I know are building out their days in advance where they have 10, 12, 15 deliveries assigned at a time.
Yeah.
And you have the option to do that by maximizing the open offering.
Yeah. In the exclusive phase, is it always the same amount of time that something's exclusively offered to you? Does it vary at all? Like how long are they looking at it?
So you'll have 10 minutes to review it. So
Okay.
when the notification goes off, you review it, say, Christian, you're up. You have the exclusive offer. You have 10 minutes to review that
Okay.
offer and act on it. If you don't take any action, right, that notification will expire and it's going to move to the next driver.
And that starts 48 hours before the pickup, ends 24 hours before the pickup. For
Correct.
24 hours, it's in that period. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, if we have a delivery that comes in 12 hours to the pickup, it's going straight to open offering. We're not gonna shorten that window. We're gonna put it right into open offering, and then whoever gets to it first, or whoever's notified first and gets in there, has the option to take that delivery.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, I do want to touch on the bot thing too.
Yep.
I don't want to. There's a two-part question. The bots. So again, hearing the feedback from the fleet throughout the country of suspected bot activity. We talk about this almost on a daily basis at this point, and it was a key reason why we wanted to give drivers the opportunity to review those orders. And the bot world, right, is unique, and our team takes it very seriously when our technology is monitoring for suspected activity. So if any of that comes through our team and gets flagged, and I've been flagged previously to these things, like we take it extremely seriously. We're going to review that account. If we see that suspected activity doesn't align with the activities of a human operating the app, then we're going to take that into our own hands. We're going to investigate that, and we're going to take it seriously. So I see a lot of the comments in there about bots, and a primary reason why we developed the software in this way was to eliminate the bots because it provides an unfair advantage.
Yeah.
And we want to make this platform equitable, increase parity, and fair.
That was my reason for being so excited about the exclusive offers, because I know he and I have done this 10 times and heard about, like, hey, we're all getting the same offer at the same time. So, yeah, that's a massive step. And obviously it's just the beginning. So the 48 to 24 hours right now, exclusive offering, there's no reason that can't expand and continue to be tweaked in the future.
All right, what do we got next? Super Chad, Nola Grind, great guy. Appreciate that. Supporting the puppies. He said, why was this a secret and no transparency? I think that we can say that, over communicating, under communicating, however it was handled, there's going to be gripes. And so it's unfortunate that it's viewed that it was an under communicated type of rollout. That's why we are all three sitting here now to try and address and answer some questions, because we heard the influx, and I knew there would be an influx of reactions and positive reviews, negative reviews, uncertainty, unclarity, and so that's what the purpose of today is. So it was not done in a malicious way to say, hey, I mean, it'd be tough to think that at this scale that we can keep a secret that's changing the foundation of how the drivers are getting orders and receiving orders and seeing all of those things could be a secret. But for future state, I think this is a great option for us to use a great platform for us to be able to use this and answer questions to clear it all up. But in no way was this malicious. I don't know if you two have anything extra to add on top of that.
No, I mean, I think we lean on our marketing team to send out communication to the drivers when it's going to become applicable to them. And I think there are pros and cons to over communicating and proactively communicating and allowing things to play out, right? And then sitting here and addressing the questions.
All right, Penelope says, I've been driving for DeliverThat for over 5 years. Has my entire driver history been erased and I'm starting from scratch again?
No way.
The quick answer to that would be no, but I'll expand a little bit. So we like the feedback about tiers, right? Like, well, I've done this job for a long time, similar to Penelope's feedback, or like I've done a great job in the past. That all is taken into account with how we're going to be matchmaking deliveries. So I've also seen some feedback as of late and in the comments where it's, elite drivers in the past were either, more equipped or have the proper equipment, and they've done this job for a really long time. And my feedback back to the feedback would be, your work will really speak for itself. I mean, we're looking at, there's not a performance threshold that we've gone out and said it's this or nothing. It's in competition with the market. It's you against, if you will, the drivers in your metro, and it's how you compete in that market relational to your peers. And having the right equipment is a huge step in doing that. You have the right equipment, you do a great job, you be on time, and we're going to talk about on time here in a minute, and you continue to deliver on this platform, you'll continue to find opportunities on this platform. And that's really, the premise of why we did what we did was get the best driver who can perform this job to the best of their abilities for the restaurant and the customer to take that delivery.
Yeah. And speaking big picture to everyone that's on here, our goal is to have the highest quality service that we can provide to restaurants, right? And in turn, the ripple effect of that is you guys have more opportunities, we have more business, and the chain of events continues in that pattern. So our goal is always to continue to make sure that our service levels are high, and that in turn serves all of us. But to their performance in current state, past state, that's really impacting the exclusive offers primarily, right? Like once it hits that open phase, we're kind of like we were in the past, offering it to a lot of drivers at the same time, but their performance is making up the exclusive offer phase and how jobs are matchmade there. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, DTs. So to be clear, bots are not allowed on the platform, and if you are caught using a bot, you will be deactivated.
Correct.
Boom.
That is a yes in bold. Let me see here. I saw another one. Let's go to. I want to touch on Jose here real quick. Is it true that merchants can block drivers for future deliveries? Christian, this is something that you and your team deal with a lot. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of the standards and expectations on our platform are us voicing what the merchant's needs are, right? You guys deliver for tons of cuisines across the country, high-end restaurants, quick service restaurants, everything in between, right? So there's some different levels of expectations from them. To answer the question in short, yes, restaurants can block drivers from seeing future offers out of their restaurant. Typically, this will be some type of professionalism violation, some type of escalation in a professional manner with the store or with the customer. They can also see their tracking links, see driver names. So if there's consistently no setup provided, things like that can lead a restaurant to requesting you not come back. Flip side of that, and I think Darien mentioned it a little bit earlier, they can request you, and we have restaurants every single day requesting either a small pool of drivers or drivers very specifically on an individual basis to take their deliveries. They do that when they submit the orders. We do our best to make those jobs directly with the drivers that they're requesting.
And to say, when a restaurant can request a driver, when I had stated that earlier, somebody in the comments said that that's a lie or that we got rid of tiers, but preferred drivers still exist. This aligns completely with the changes that we've made. The best drivers, if you give a restaurant an exceptional experience and you go above and beyond for their customer, for their staff, that is on the restaurant to say, hey, this driver performs to my standard.
Yep.
I would love to have them back as much as possible. So that does not mean that there are tiers. That means this driver is performing and it aligns with that brand, and that they have the optionality to be able to request that driver in the future.
Which is what we're trying to provide both on the driver and the merchant side, right? Like the power of choice is extremely important, and where we're at with our drivers who are like, let's focus on the blocking, right? Our driver experience team is always going to investigate that. We're never going to take anything at face value for, this driver did X, Y, or Z, and without doing our due diligence, right? Like, we've seen that a time or two on this platform, and our team has investigated that, and we've listened to the driver, and we've done our independent research, and we make the decision there, to stand by of our drivers telling us something that doesn't align with what we're seeing on the other end, right? We're gonna do what we can, but then at the end of the day, right, like the restaurant has the right to do what they feel right, what is best for the restaurant. Right. I think that's what you deal with, more than anybody.
Well, it's drivers have the opportunity. I saw some stuff about $8 direct partner offers. Right, don't take them. Same, like both sides of the coin. We're leaving the choice in your hand, but it is great for you to shed light on the amount of research we do, the amount of back work that goes into things before we ban a driver. That's really where the bulk of the work is, and we've gone to war for some driver. Like, we will not ban this driver. Right. What you're saying is incorrect. What the customer is saying is incorrect. So that's a good call out.
All right. Yeah, we've seen a couple super chats, so we appreciate everybody that continues to contribute here. Why was the app update reversed? Now all the orders, even those 2 days ahead, are going to drivers from lower tiers. How does that make sense?
Why was the app update reversed? I'm not sure if I fully understand.
Miguel, do me a favor, and we'll get back to this question, but can you kind of clarify for us, so that I want to make sure that we correctly answer your question.
The comment of the tiers. I mean, we don't have tiers.
Yeah, that would.
But I want to make sure
that would be the only
app
call out.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep them rolling.
There's not specific tiers.
Crystal Clear 199. Thank you. All right, so let's. Let's see. So all right, here you go. So Lisa Stafford says, and Christian, this will be being able to talk to you. Lisa says, some direct partners steal tips and drivers don't get them. I've seen this with a couple brands. You don't have to take it down there, Benny. But the whole premise is, what happens in these situations there. I don't want to always say this is a malicious thing from a restaurant. There's a lot of things that could happen with different contracts, et cetera. But can you kind of talk about, from your perspective, what goes on in those situations and how we advocate for the drivers here?
Yeah, I think first and foremost what I would say is, if we ever engage in something that is not going to be 100% of the gratuities going to the drivers, and we've done this few and far between, right? If there's a large opportunity, we don't want you guys to miss out on that because they want to split tips with their in-house staff, etc. If there's a situation like that, typically we'll send partner announcements when they're getting signed up. We will always keep the Help Center articles updated for these restaurant brands, so you can search in the Help Center and see the pay details. There'll always be a driver pay subcategory inside of the partner articles. It'll talk about gratuity setups for them. That being said, when it comes up, I mean, it's a lot like, Jake, we were just talking about the flip side of this, where a restaurant's trying to ban a driver, right? Like, there's a lot of research that goes into it. There's a lot of dialogue with the restaurant. Sometimes it's very difficult from our vantage point to prove that something malicious has happened. But anytime we can get to the bottom of this, it's brought up to the restaurant brand immediately. You guys are never falling on deaf ears if you're giving us feedback and saying, hey, customer said they left $30, I got $10, what's going on, what's the discrepancy here? It's always brought to the restaurant's attention. Sometimes it's brought to tech providers' attention, right? So sometimes someone's placing an order here, it passes through 2 middle layers of technology and then reaches DeliverThat. So there's a lot of digging that goes into it, and anytime it's caught, we just get those funds to you guys as soon as possible.
All right, let's talk about, and a lot of people want to know how they can, there's people here to say their tiers still exist and all of these things. Let's talk about how they can maximize this new world that we're living in.
Sure.
So what matters here? Right, on time. I think on time is the biggest thing, and especially the more that we work with direct partners and large partners. We just had a national rollout this week with Potbelly. They're a very large brand. They have a lot of volume, and they're not going to be the last one this year that's going to roll out. But the number one thing that's important to being able to continuously see more deliveries, and that's going to be being on time.
That is correct.
So let's define what on time is, and why it's so important to not just showing up maybe a minute early or 2 minutes early. Why is being early a problem? Because we're seeing a lot more of that now than ever. It's not too late. It's a lot more early. So let's use this as a time to educate. What does on time mean? And then why is it so important to fall within those windows?
You want to take first, Deb?
Let's do it. When we talk about on time and what that means, I think our marketing team has done a fantastic job of getting this messaging out as much as we can, and we're going to continue to be aggressive with what on time means and how to fall within that window. And I say a window because right now, current state, it is a 20-minute window to complete your delivery to be considered on time. 15 minutes before that drop-off time, 5 minutes after that drop-off time that's being communicated, right? So you have a 20-minute window, and I think where this conversation could potentially steer us is the difference between when you are completing your setup and when you're getting back into your car and when you're leaving the drop-off, right? And we've all done catering orders, and that difference can mean a lot more than a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Right? You could be on the 30th floor of a building, and now it's down the elevator. I don't have this. I don't have that. I need to
weaving
walk
out of a hospital.
minutes.
Yeah.
And I think that change in mentality is so important for the drivers who we've seen have success on this platform. Is when I've completed my setup and I've done a good job, I finish the delivery.
Yeah.
I complete the delivery, right? And it's not this. I mean, I'm looking right at Ben. Ben does a phenomenal job with doing the setup contest. We have some beautiful setups. Beautiful setups. Some very labor-intensive setups, and I understand that. And the comment from Darien as well with being early. I also know that the food is cooked. We talk about this a lot.
All the time.
All the time. The food is cooked. The food is not sitting there underneath a hot lamp. A heat lamp at a restaurant waiting for, I'm picking on Miguel because I'm looking at his name, waiting for Miguel to come through the front door, and then we're going to box it up and be ready to go bang on time. We know that the food is cooked, right? But there are still that optics of put yourself in the shoes of an executive meeting is happening at a company, and it's supposed to start at 12:30 and lunch is going to be served at 1 o'clock. Well, now lunch shows up. It might show up right in the middle of the meeting, right? It might show up 45 minutes late, and then it's, we're waiting for the setup to be complete on top of that. Now we're excessively late. Now that customer's experience, yes, it relates back to us, but we'll use Potbelly for the example for this. That customer has that experience and relates that back to Potbelly.
Yep.
Right. And then it's the impact on your team really in working with our merchants closely.
Yeah. No, I mean, we talk all the time about the food is ready. The food is ready. We see both sides of this coin. The other thing we talk about too is we know you guys want to maximize your earnings, right? So a lot of this stuff is you're trying to stack your day with as many orders as possible. If you can get one delivered early, you can make more money taking more deliveries. The long game here and the quality piece comes into play where conference rooms aren't available. Offices aren't open. Customers aren't on site when we arrive more than 15 minutes early to things. The same is true for late deliveries, right? I would always personally say I'd rather my food be early than my food be late. With catering, though, it truly is so sensitive when you're delivering hundreds of dollars of food. So, I mean, that's the biggest metric for us, right?
Okay.
When it comes to the exclusive offers is, are we on time? Are we on target?
Yep.
Dropping these orders off.
I would say then I know it's a very difficult thing, but if in any sort of competition or you're going to have higher standards, I would just say a rule of thumb: if you want to do right by a restaurant and a customer every single time, you give yourself a 5-minute window each side, 5 minutes early or 5 minutes late, and I promise you that if you're doing that consistently, you're going to see more deliveries.
You're going to win.
It's going to be that is exactly how you win. If we are on time 5 minutes early to 5 minutes late, Obviously, that's not what we're going to put inside of the app because we understand all the things that you just said, but hold yourself to a higher standard and then come back to me and you can yell at me and spam the comments and tell me that didn't work, right? I would be very hard-pressed to believe that you would not see any orders in that way. All right, so Miguel, we asked him to clarify earlier, but basically what he was saying was, he says, what I'm saying is that drivers who used to get few orders are now getting most of the orders in my area. I think he's trying to understand why that is.
I mean, my comment back to that would be the drivers who are, what we just talked about really, is like the drivers who are doing a great job, they're taking deliveries and they're on time, are being rewarded for that, right? Like those are
That's
the
the
rules of
primary
the game,
thing, yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I know like Miguel he's in the comments for a couple other things, right? Like there are merchants out there who do request to work directly with drivers, and like Miguel is one of those. He does a phenomenal job.
Great job.
Right? Great job. And we do our absolute best to honor that. And the follow-up question to that statement was, like, in the future, will we ever have something where a restaurant can partner with a driver? We talk about that all the time. And we have restaurant partners who, to use Miguel as that example, want to work with Miguel.
Yep.
And why would we forcefully put ourselves in the middle of that when there's a brand who knows the expectations and working with a delivery driver that they want to work with? We do our best to accommodate that right now in our call center. And it is something that we talk about and we hear your feedback on for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Rich, just about restaurants being late for the on-time piece of this.
What's your policy if the store is late giving you the food? Okay, great. A great comment. If there are wait times and food delays at the restaurant, that is taken out of the on-time metric.
So you will not be penalized if you've upheld your end of the bargain and the restaurant is delayed for any reason, you will not be penalized for that.
Yep, it's controllable on time.
And the before we do the super chat, the only thing I would chime in is, as we continue to build, we have seen and we have heard feedback from you guys. We see the stuff that happens online. We see the coaching of drivers to maliciously use their app on our platform. We are really honing into a world where that food prep delay is truly a food prep delay. It's not loading your car with the food. It's not sitting in the parking lot right outside of the restaurant. If we are in a place where we penalize restaurants for things that are not their fault, or penalize drivers for things that are not their fault, we're going down a slippery slope, right? So we're really honing in on the food prep delays. We're coaching restaurants to be better at it. Restaurants are reviewing their video footage. Like it's getting to the point where we're going to verify both sides of the delivery, so to speak, and make sure everyone's being held to a standard.
Yeah, and what does it mean you touch on this from the merchant side, but what does it mean from that merchant who I've given you the food has been received, you went and took 20 minutes to load your car,
right?
And now I'm incurring wait times.
Now
right?
I'm getting charged.
Well, my food was ready.
Yeah.
Now we're playing the he said she said game, where my personal advice for drivers on our platform is that when you receive the food, right, that's when we're moving on.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we've received the food, we've taken receipt of the food. Now it's like, let's get to the drop on time.
Yeah.
We have to get to the drop with the time. And if it is, take a $10,000 order, we know that that's going to take some time to load the car.
Yep.
We know that. So let's bake that in. Let's think ahead there, load the car, get on time, and get to the drop on time.
We're just sitting here, and I'm remembering having footage sent of like, no, the food was ready. Like restaurants will just be like, I'll pull the camera for
Of course.
you.
Yeah, of course.
We got a couple super chats.
Nice. Thank you for the super chats.
Imagine this means delivery, not necessarily restaurant, but maybe if you have a number, you could touch on both.
What percentage?
What percentage of orders are late?
Maybe from both sides, if we have any kind of feedback.
It's pretty tough. I mean, all right, so it is under 5%. What does I
Yeah, I
say
mean, I
is
can
on
talk
time
late to the
for
drop.
late to the drop off.
If you exclude food delays.
If you exclude the food
Correct.
delays. So I say that my hesitancy was that's going to sound like a very small number to everybody here that's listening, and I know that the follow-up is going to say,
Mics are still live.
I know the follow-up here is going to say, well, then why can't I get these orders, right? we aim to be 100% of these orders are going to be on time for these restaurants.
Yep.
5% at scale could be
Hundreds
hundreds of
yeah.
deliveries for a brand or a system network wide.
Yep.
Right. So that's still a very big number that we need to close the gap on.
Yeah. And then on the flip side of that coin would be like, what percentage of deliveries have restaurant delays? That's somewhere between 10 and 20% pretty consistently. It definitely fluctuates, but it's going to be in that range.
I mean, we'll pull a rabbit out of our hat now and then too. I mean, we see it where there's a food delay that could be 20 minutes and we'll be on time. Like,
yeah,
the drivers in this chat pull those miracles off every day.
It's the Bruce
right?
Almighty.
And it's like, wow, you bailed us out and did a great job.
Yep.
We want to continue working with you. Let's hit that other super chat there.
All right. Oh, dang. Do you three have the apps on your phones to test the updates? Absolutely.
Yes.
We were doing, I don't know the right word for this, but we were doing in-house testing of this app for months and months. And like, I mean, again, staring at Ben, I've been on deliveries with Ben. We had internal employees testing the app. I sit right next to our manager of our service department whose app is dinging with open offers and exclusive offers. And we are continuing to triage that. And we have everybody in this office has gone on deliveries and has the app on their phone.
I remember going out of town while we were testing, and I completely logged out of the app, and it sent me a push notification. And I was like, we got to do something about it. Yes, we are actively testing the app.
Yep.
Hey,
and a lot of the feedback that we've seen that we also have tested, right? Like the prioritization of that feedback. I mean,
yeah,
it's a platform that, I'll use some of the terms I've seen in the chat as well. Like, it is a platform that was built and based on feedback of drivers. Like, we've done delivery, we give that feedback, we understand the delivery start to finish, and then in tandem with the delivery drivers' feedback that we service every day, every piece of feedback is considered and read.
All right. Hey, is this any good? Is that any good? Am I penalized for declining orders 2 hours away, or should I let the offer time out?
No, decline them.
So this was also a relatively large shift that I didn't necessarily expect it to be such a large shift, to be honest, but it was, and it was a behavioral change of the catch and release. The catch and release was so big in our prior lives, and now to be able to review the delivery before you're going to make the decision of yes or no, and how we continue to reinforce and drive the right behavior and knowledge on the platform to make sure that it is that default accept.
Yeah, that's how our whole platform was based. Yeah, it was a race to hit accept, review all the details, and there was no penalty to release it. So, but now current state, review, decline.
Review, make the decision that works for you.
Yeah.
Decline, move on, accept, and then accept with intent to take the delivery.
Yeah.
But you still continue to have that optionality
to release.
So we didn't get rid of that part either, where it's, okay, this delivery works for me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take it tomorrow.
Yep.
Well, if I go into the open offers and see something that works better for me, I'm going to go take that.
Swap it out.
Right? Like,
yep.
Now obviously, like, we're not going to drop a delivery 30 minutes to the pickup.
Yep.
Right? There's timing mechanisms there, but we want to again provide that choice to the driver to maximize earnings on the platform.
You said the 30 minutes to the pickup and us testing the app and stuff. I remember the first time seeing there's a last minute offer notification pushed to my phone.
Yeah.
It was like, grab it if you're going to be on time. And I was like, sick.
Yep.
Boogie Mama, thank you for the donation. The question here is it possible to check how busy my metro is? So let's talk about best practices on trying to understand a market and the volume potential there.
That's a stumper for me. I mean, our team is pretty transparent over the phone. Like,
I think what they're asking is, like, can I get in my app and go look and see if it's busy? So let's talk the best practices of if I want to know, hey, I'm new to the app, how busy is my metro? What steps should they be following?
So, I mean, the first step that I would follow, and like when I hear people say, I'm not getting offers. Okay, let's first make sure that your account is set up the right way. And how do you do that? You're going to work really closely with our driver experience team, and that's the design of that team is to not only help troubleshoot and provide that level of service on a day-to-day basis. But that team is there to help coach. And I think that is, again, more of a paradigm shift for us over the last 12 months. But they're there to, let's make sure that the app's functioning correctly, make sure you're set up correctly, make sure that you're in the right metro, you're tied to the right metro, you're getting offers where you want to get them, one, and then we can move through, or like when we're talking about a busy metro. I think Christian is spot on, where like we have the visibility and the transparency that exists within our office to work with every single driver to make sure that it works for them. And what we have to get away from was the calls every day saying, got anything on assignment for me, right? Like we built this technology to provide the visibility on a daily basis to see what's available.
Yep.
And I promise you, there's nothing that if I'm in Philadelphia and I'm looking at open offers, there's nothing that our team can see in open offers that you can't see as a driver.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's all just learning and evolving together, right? Because we have habits in the past that don't scale to the level that we're at now, right? We used to transfer orders between drivers who are friends in the same area all of the time. We used to have drivers who would call in every single day, first thing in the morning, to ask about offers. But a lot of that was limitations to technology, right? We didn't have the ability to do some of the things we do now, to expose things in the app to drivers. And that now using technology doesn't take the human element out. It just makes it more scalable, right? We can be human where it's appropriate.
All right, we got a good question here from Benton. Are there plans to release tangible stats in the app that lead to priority orders for the top-performing drivers?
This to me feels like us 1 year ago saying, are there intentions to get to exclusive offering?
Yeah.
That's how this feels to me, where it's like we are absolutely building in the direction of our technology being as transparent with you guys as we would sitting down and having dinner with you guys. So, yeah, I want to say long-term, the answer is just no-brainer yes. This is stuff we expose to drivers. It's hard to ever talk about a timeline. That's where this stuff gets tough. We were 2 years ago being told to do exclusive offers, and if we would have told you, hey, 2 years from now we'll do it, that would have felt ambitious then.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. We have nothing to hide. This is all in an effort to be able to provide you transparency. Yeah. And this is an effort to try to articulate the rules of the game and tell you how to leverage this platform to maximize your earnings. So great question.
I think that's something that you, Darien, have been preaching since the beginning of us moving through this migration, was rules of the game is the phrase that we've used internally. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think that's exposing, people in the comments are like, algorithm. Like, okay, well, let's give you something that shows your performance on this platform, and then we'll work with you from there, right?
Yeah.
Like, our team is designed to be able to, like, if you want to maximize your earnings on this platform, let's have a dialogue, let's have a conversation, let's coach through it, let's talk about how you can do it. And then we'll lay out the formula and the recipe for you to be able to achieve your goals on this platform. Yeah. And I think that that's something that it's been a notable shift in our driver experience team over the last several months. It will continue to get better over time. Like, that is a top priority for me, is to help our driver experience team be more equipped to have those conversations and coach through this. And then again, like, looking at Nate and Ben here, our marketing team continuing to provide resources, and whether it's through our knowledge base, whether it's through our DAP, how do we give you the tools to be successful without necessarily needing to have your hand held.
Yeah.
I think that to be a worker in the gig economy, you're already proving that you want to be independent, right? You want to be independent. You want to control your own destiny and perform on the platform. What does it mean to perform well? What does performing well get me? How do I do it? And how do I make money?
Yeah.
Right. Those are the conversations our team is going to be handling every single day.
Well, I think that's, you've kind of brought that paradigm shift to that team and structured the team in a way where they can be more coaching, more maximizing and optimizing a driver's actual experience on our platform, as opposed to just addressing the bad apples, we'll say, right? Like, just playing defense against driver incidents that take place that get passed over by restaurants, right? Like, it's become much more that way. Along that same line, though, just so we don't get inundated tomorrow. Our driver's able to call us right now and be like, what's my on-time metrics? What's my setup rating? And driver experience have that readily available?
Not currently,
Okay.
no. Now what our team will be able to do, right? Like, how many comments have you seen come through where it's like, my notifications aren't working? I haven't got an exclusive offer in a month.
Yeah.
I don't see any open offers. If we have functionality gaps with drivers who are wanting to drive on this platform, please call us.
Yeah.
I want to get every single driver through this migration set up the right way with your notifications enabled, with you're active, you're on a version of our app that supports this platform. If that's a functionality gap that you're experiencing, call and
us.
we will audit your account.
Yep.
Every single time we will audit that account, and we will look into make sure that there's no gap there where the cards are stacked against
Yep.
you to be able to get offers. That's not what we're doing here.
Yep.
And
Okay.
I think that's the
makes sense.
spirit of us of being the platform that, is by drivers for drivers. We want every driver to experience success on the platform.
Yeah.
Now, I can't go back here and make food and create orders, but everything post food being cooked, we want it to be
We
the
want to
best.
support it. Yeah.
All right, let's get. I think we have time for one more here. Couple super chats. All right. So, all right. Almost at the same time, you started offering exclusive offers. Zifty did as well. Was this just a coincidence, or is it an EasyGator policy?
Coincidence.
Had to be a coincidence.
Yeah. We do what we
the-
feel is best for the drivers.
The way technology works is it's not a snap of the fingers. As Christian has alluded to many of times, we've talked to you guys for a better part of a year about getting to this point. So, yeah, it just had to have been coincidence.
Couple from Odang.
Oh, dang. Even with changes, I still love DeliverThat. We love you, too. I appreciate that.
Appreciate all you do.
Do three have the
That's
phones?
best. Oh, dang. We're the best.
DeliverThat, the best opportunity. I love you, oh, dang.
Thanks for bringing the positive.
Crystal clear. Why can a driver get a large offer and not have what is needed? You switched it on me. And
What's
not have
needed
what's
from
needed
car size
from
to
car
bag?
size to bags. Why don't you get drivers' vehicles registrations?
That is a great question. There are additional checks that go into place for orders over a very specific threshold on our platform. So past a certain point, there will be additional checks aside from just the technology that's offering you those deliveries. So that is something that's flagging to our team as well in our internal systems.
All right. Is it possible to check?
Offers radius.
Oh, we did that one. Reason for the question is how busy a metro is. Offer rates have gone dramatically low since the update. Offers tab is always empty. Anything else to add to that one?
I mean, I think that would be reaching out to make sure at least
Yeah.
the app setup is correct.
Hearing an empty offer screen makes me want to just say, please reach out to the driver experience team so we can take a look at your account.
Especially if it shifted. If it was
Yeah.
busy and now it's not,
Yeah, I agree.
that would be concerning.
Yep.
That's it for super chats. We got 2 minutes left. Did you see anything on
2 minutes left. Okay, let me do this real quick. We got some wagons, right? We
Do we have some giveaways?
go
Yeah, let's
giveaway
have some
action.
fun here. Let's give away
All
some
right,
stuff.
I want to know. I talked about a golden rule to hold your standards for yourself too. Okay, I'd say the first 6 people to tell me exactly what that is, we'll be able to send you a wagon on us. So we'll wait for those. We'll wait for those to flow in, and then we'll get our winners. Nate and Ben, you'll go ahead and take those names.
The question was gold standard for on time to hold yourself to, or
Yep. Well, you gave him a little bit of a hint there,
Yeah.
because I was,
a little nudge in the right direction.
I was just trying to.
Just trying to get some wagons in the hands.
Yeah, just trying to
See
get you
who's
guys
there.
wagons.
Give me a wagon.
There's somebody's. It's catching up. All right.
Give me a wagon.
Let's see.
start.
All right.
All right.
So what we'll do is we'll get to start wrapping up, and I think we'll be able to catch up to these once we finish up. But that being said, just in closing, I want to again thank you guys for everything that you do. I know it's not easy to roll with punches at times, or to see things further down the line and trust a company that's saying that we're doing this for the overall betterment of the platform, for you, the driver, and also the restaurant, and then the end customer, right? So we appreciate you guys sticking in there with us. I understand why and how some people are frustrated. I just ask that you reach out to the team, talk through it, we're always going to be transparent with you. We don't have anything to hide, and I just hope that it's not taken maliciously. So, that being said, I truly, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate every single thing that you guys do. We would not be who we are or where we are or sitting here talking to anybody if it wasn't for you guys and the work that you put in for us, the restaurants, and the customers. So I don't think you all hear that enough, especially from me right now in this setting, and it's a live stream. But thank you very much. You could pick a million other platforms to work with, but you guys are spending your Wednesday evening listening to us, and albeit not everybody in here is happy, firing questions, but you're still here. So that means there's some hope for you. But do you two have anything you want to end it on?
No, I would just reiterate the fact that, where we're at right now isn't our end state. We have plans to continue to make this the best platform to drive on. Again, thank you guys for the commitment to our platform. Our team does take every single piece of feedback very seriously, and continue to give it, continue to provide it where you can and where you feel it's necessary, and drive safe and keep being the best platform out there. Keep being the best fleet of drivers that we can offer to every single restaurant.
Yeah, you guys are incredible. I signed up as a driver about 8 years ago, a little over 8 years ago. A lot of people that I've seen in the chat today have been on that journey for almost the same amount of time. We've changed a lot. We've grown a lot. We're going to continue to change. We're going to continue to grow. It's all been together. It's all been based on your guys' feedback, the feedback of our restaurant partners. And we appreciate you guys from the bottom of our heart. Thank you so much.
That being said, Ben, Nate, maybe Christian and Jake, that's fine, because there's a lot of people that still have a lot of questions, and I don't want this to be cut short and think that we're not trying to hear. This will go all directly to me and our leadership team, and we'll be able to review. But let's find a way that people can submit questions to us, and we send it out to the people here that feel as though they didn't get everything answered. All right, is that fair?
Yeah, and we'll always do our best to get the right resources out there that are publicly facing, that have the answers to a lot of these questions as well. So yeah, I'm good with that.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Ben, Nate, you guys good? Awesome. All right, thank you guys again, and we look forward to the next one.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.